Abhilash has asked, quoting from the Nitnem, he says, "Only the Creator God who created the world knows when He created it. Limitless is His creation, and there is no end to His gifts and blessings." So he says, why did God create the world? Is it not us, the unliberated ones, who create this world within us and influence it and get influenced by it? Yes, Abhilash, that's quite a scholarly thing to say, that the world is created by us. We project the world and then we get influenced by our own projections and so on and so forth. The cycle continues. But then the question still remains much the same. Even if you are the one projecting the world, who created you and why? So let's say you are the one who created the world. Then the Nitnem is saying only the Creator God knows why and when He created you. Substitute the world with yourself. Why does God create world? Why does God create you? All right, let's answer it. Why does God create what? You said you. Why did God create man? The question of has been substituted by the question of creation of man. And you are saying the question of creation of world is not an important one, because the world is created by man. So we are not talking of the question of creation of man. What is the question? Why did God create man? Okay. So why did God create man? I'm asking, why did God create what? What? Man. Man. What is that? What is that? Yes, Abhilash, what is that? Man. You are asking me, why did God create man? I'm asking back to you, why did God create what? You say man. I'm asking, what is that? Explain that to me first. If I am asking, why did A create B? Must I first of all not know what A and B are? There are three things here. A, B, and Y. A, B, and Y. You are trying to put the emphasis on Y. You are asking, why did A create B? According to you, the why is very, very important, right? Why did A create B? Why? I'm saying pause. Why did what create what? Why will come later. First of all, we know what are these A and B that you are talking of. What is God and what is man? And if we do not know what A is and what B is, what business do we have extending the story any further. Why did A create B? And I know nothing about A, nor do I know anything about B. Yet I am trying to solve the problem. Would I ever succeed? Why did? Give me a funny word of your choice. Any word. Tinta. One more word. Can't you go absurd? Minta. Why did Tinta eat Minta? Should I go into the why, or should I first of all ask what is Tinta and what is Minta? What are you talking of? And somebody is running after you and questioning vigorously, why did Tinta eat Minta? What would I turn back and ask first of all? What is Tinta and what is Minta? If I know what is Tinta and what is Minta, then maybe probably I can answer why did Tinta eat Minta? Similarly, why did God create man? Who are you and who is God? But don't we already know who we are? I mean, I'm Suresh. I'm Abhilash from Chennai. It's so very certain who I am. And God, we all know who He is. Even my 3-year-old nephew knows who God is. Every evening he prays Om Jai Jagdishare. We all know who God is. There he sits in that temple. So I'm very confident about who I am. And God, He is a matter of general knowledge. Even the cows on the streets, they know everything about God. I am a little skeptical, Abhilash. I would rather inquire again. Who are you and who is God? And if you can ask this question again and again, who am I? Who am I? Who am I? What is this thing? God or truth or true self? Then probably the whys and hows and such things will simply sublimate, disappear. Further, says Abhilash, when I read Nitnem or any other scripture about God, I usually replace the term God with myself in liberated state. Okay. Myself in liberated state. Okay. That's fine. MLS. But I get easily lost when I read verses like the one mentioned here. For instance, in this verse, it's mentioned that God's creation and His blessings are limitless. What does that mean? Acharya ji, I'm not sure if I'm reading the scripture in the right sense. Can you please help me understand this verse? Limitless is His creation and there is no end to His gifts. Abhilash, one has to go into the scripture, resonating with the gurus, the saints. This verse that you have quoted is an expression in gratitude. Limitless is his creation, and there is no end to his gifts. In what sense is his creation limitless? You know of the utter expanse of the universe. You also know of the utter expanse of time. And you also know how time is changing everything every second. Now, keep these two side by side and look at the kind of multiplicative effect they have on each other. An immensely inconceivable universe, unimaginable in its own right, is being changed thoroughly every moment by an infinite stretch of time. Now tell me, what is it that you can gather out of this statement? The universe as it is, in any moment of time, is inconceivable. And the next moment, this inconceivable immensity changes totally into something else, and then into something else, and then into something else, and then into something else. Is that fathomable? In front of such a realization, the saints say, limitless is his creation. Limitless is his creation. And then they say, and there is no end to his gifts, blessings. I am, I can know, I can see. I can even use the word infinity when there is nothing in my life that is infinite. I talk and sing of his name when he actually has no name. In spite of being so little, I keep talking of immensities. Is that not a blessing? So as big and wide his creation is, equally big and wide are his blessings. That I'm a part of his creation and I can also perceive the creation. These utterances spring forth when gratitude talks. When one has received and is full. when one is not full of grudges or dissatisfaction. You cannot intellectually or theoretically comprehend this verse. You can only resonate with this verse. You can only say, yes, I too feel like saying a big thank you. This verse is both an expression of thanks and a reminder that one must remain thankful. One is always entitled to ask any question. But the entitlement brings in its wake the responsibility to look for the right method to find the answer and the right dimension in which the solution would be found. If there is a wave of mind coming forth with a question, you cannot turn blind to the question. If the question is there, it is there. Now that it is there, one's responsibility is to know how to deal with it. So the mind has asked, why did Tinta eat Minta? No point rebuking it. No point dismissing it. Then you tell the mind that just as you are very eagerly asking why did Tinta eat Minta, equally eagerly must you ask what is Tinta and what is Minta. Good question. But it would be answered after you answer two other questions. You have asked a very good question. We will answer it after you answer two questions that are related to your question.
And are these actually two questions, like getting knowing what Tinta and Minta are? Are they, do we get to know them at the same time, or we have to ask what is Tinta, and then when we know, what is Minta?
You ask what is Tinta, what is Minta? The question has a certain effect on the questioner. The question has a certain effect on the questioner. Who is the questioner? Who had started out by asking, why did Tinta eat Minta? So this question is here already. Why did Tinta eat Minta? We said, let it remain here. You first answer, what is Tinta? What is Minta? So the questioner is here. The original question is here. And now these are the two follow-up questions. What is Tinta? What is Minta? Now asking, who am I? What is the truth? Who is man? Who is God is? Who am I? And what is the truth? Who am I? What is the truth? Who am I? What is the truth? When these questions are being asked, the questions are changing the questioner. Now the questioner is changing. To whom had this original question come? To the questioner. Now if the questioner is changing, If the questioner is no more the one to whom that question had come, what happens to that question? Gone. Because that question was coming only to a particular questioner. Once that questioner is gone, this question is no more applicable. Who am I, or what is truth? These are special questions. They
I'm still asking, are these two questions, are they one and the same?
They are one and the same. One and the same. Who am I and what is truth are one and the same. One appears a little more personal. The other appears a little more scriptural. But one.
Acharyaji, in critical decision making process in our life, should we have to be slave to our mind, or should we have to give way to others' opinion?
You mean, do you have to take others' opinion from others, or do you have to take others' opinion from your so-called mind? There are two ways in which you can abide by others' opinions. Either by asking others directly, or by using this mind that you think of as yours. How does it matter whether I'm talking of the oil in my oil tank, or the oil at the fuel pump, or the oil in your car? It is all coming from the same well. Opinions are opinions. There is nothing called my opinion. All opinions are alien, foreign to you. They are always others. Even if they happen to be present in your mind, they are still others. It is just that you are so brain identified that when an opinion is present in your brain, you start thinking that it is your opinion. And from where did that opinion come to your brain? It came either from biology or from society. How is the opinion yours then? From where did any opinion come to your brain? Either from biology or from the society. How is it yours then? So when faced with crucial decisions in life, it is a good thing to start off with the humility that the decision is not known in advance. That all the certain all the certainty that one has is a borrowed certainty. One has to question ruthlessly question. And then light emerges on its own. Hmm?